Pope Urban II's call to free the holy places, issued during the Council of Clermont in 1095, spread rapidly throughout Western Christianity and was enthusiastically taken up by the feudal nobility. At the end of the First Crusade, the Christian warriors captured Jerusalem and founded the Crusader states in the Orient. Their early successes were achieved mostly because of the deep political, ethnic, and religious divisions existing in the Near East at that time. Over the following 2 centuries, 8 other crusades were organized in order to defend the Latin Kingdom. Welcome to our video about the Crusades. We have a 15 parts video series for you where we cover every aspect of the Crusades, from their beginning to the end and their impact in the Middle East region. So make sure to like this video, subscribe and turn on post notifications for future videos. Also, let us know in the comments below what do you think. And now back to the video. At the time of the Crusaders' arrival, the political landscape of the Middle East was extremely complex. The region was divided into emirates, often limited to a city and its surrounding territory. Prominent among these principalities were Damascus, Antioch, Tripoli, and Aleppo, while the emirs officially recognized the authority of a caliph, either in Baghdad or Cairo. They governed independently in practice. This fragmentation of power created a mosaic of semi-autonomous states, each with its own ambitions and rivalries. Political divisions were further complicated by ethnic differences. Alongside the Arab emirs, there were Turkish emirs, recent converts to Islam who had arrived in the mid-11th century. Relations between Arab and Turkish leaders were often contentious, marked by violent clashes. Another significant ethnic group were the Kurds, including the famous leader Saladin, who were Islamicized and Arabized, but not ethnically Arab. These ethnic tensions added layers of complexity to the already fragmented political landscape. Religious divisions added another dimension to the conflict. Within the Muslim community, relations between Sunnis and Shias were fraught with conflict. The Abbasid Caliphate in Baghdad and most Turkish emirs were Sunni, while the Fatimid dynasty in Cairo adhered to Shia Islam. This intra-Muslim rivalry further fragmented the region. Christians, who were still a majority in the Middle East at the time, were themselves divided into numerous sects, including Copts, Melkites, Jacobites, Maronites, Nestorians, and Armenians. These diverse Christian groups had their own traditions and sometimes conflicting interests. Jewish communities also played a significant role in the region's cultural and economic life. Cities like Jerusalem, Cairo, Damascus, and Acre were home to vibrant Jewish communities, which maintained strong links with Jewish populations in the Maghreb and the West. These connections facilitated trade and cultural exchanges, contributing to the dynamism of Jewish life in the Middle East. The Crusaders, despite being united by their Latin Christian faith, were far from a monolithic group. During the First Crusade, internal conflicts frequently erupted between the Provençals and Normans. In the early 12th century, disputes over the crown of Jerusalem saw Normans and Germans at odds. Italian merchants from cities such as Pisa, Genoa, and Venice often prioritized their commercial interests over crusading zeal, leading to tensions within the Crusader ranks. Over time, the Crusaders who remained in the East began to adapt to the complex political environment. They shed some of the radicalism that had characterized the Crusade preached in Europe and started to forge alliances and agreements with Muslim leaders. Notable examples include, in 1109, Tancred, regent of Antioch, allied with Prince Ridwan of Aleppo to combat Prince Jawali of Mosul. Jawali, in turn, sought assistance from Baldwin of Edessa. This resulted in Frankish knights fighting alongside Muslims in both camps. Prior to the Second Crusade, the Emir of Damascus allied with the Latin Kingdom of Jerusalem to counter the threat from the Muslims of Aleppo. During the Third Crusade, Saladin and Richard the Lionheart, while negotiating peace, even considered a marriage alliance between Saladin's brother and Richard's sister, although this plan quickly fell through. The ability to reach agreements with Muslim adversaries was epitomized by Holy Roman Emperor Frederick II, who negotiated the return of Jerusalem to the Christian fold in 1229 without any fighting. However, Frederick's peaceful recovery of the Holy City was heavily criticized in the West, where waging holy war was seen as the only acceptable means of achieving such goals. On an individual level, many historical sources reveal instances of friendship, love, and mutual respect across religious and political boundaries. The autobiography of the Syrian prince Usama ibn Munkid is particularly illustrative, recounting numerous personal interactions between Latins, Turks, Arabs, and Armenians that transcended the prevailing conflicts. In the diverse and politically fragmented East, constant wars did not prevent the crossing of religious and political boundaries. Despite the overarching conflicts, individual relationships and pragmatic alliances often provided glimpses of a more complex and interconnected world. challenging the simplistic notion of a clash of civilizations.